Hello students. Now we will discuss about the some numerical problems. Okay, so we have already discussed about this performance of processor. I'm just zooming it. So now we have already discussed about the performance of the processor. So on the base of this performance of the processor, some numerical may come in your exam. Okay, so important thing is this cycle count and cycle time and time period. Next is the CPI, which is cycle per instruction, and then IC, which is instruction count. Then sometimes the examiner may ask that what is the MIPS or MFPOS. So now let's discuss about these terms and the numerical over it. And we have already discussed some formulas, and these formulas are important in regarding your numerical problems. So one is your execution time, which is the clock count multiplied by CT. One is your CPI, which is a summation of CPI multiplied by instruction number of instruction divided by instruction count. Next is MIPS, which is IC divided by execution time multiplied by 10 raised power 6. And now let's see what is the question basically. So now calculate CPI and MIPS of the CPU with a 200 MHz frequency, which is executing a performance program with the following instruction. So we have different type of the instruction. The examiner may ask you different type of the instruction have different number of the clock cycles, and when we multiplied these two things then we add them, then we get the CPI. So we can multiply this 38 multiplied by 1, 15 multiplied by 3, 42 multiplied by 4, 5 multiplied by 5. So then and divide by IC, instruction count. Number of instruction count is 100. So now we can get from it that the value is 2.76. Now what is the MIPS, million instruction per second? Then it is clock rate divided by CPI multiplied by 10 raised power 6. So we will get 70.24 value. So next is what I want to discuss with you is some of the performance based question which is important. So and we can discuss about some of the things. For example, yes, this example of reference, this is the file I have already shared with you, and now you please see that I have also enrolled in this file some of the you can say you may say that solutions of these questions also. So suppose a program or a task takes 1 billion of the instruction and 2 gigahertz of the processor, 50% of execution in 3 clock cycle, 30% execution for 4 clock cycles, and 20% in 5 clock cycle. Such type of question may come in your exam, and you should answer it by as follows. So you will find that what are the number of the clock cycles are used for the different type of the frequency of the instructions. So for example, 50% means 0.5 of the instructions are getting for 3. 0.3 of instructions are getting for the value of the clock cycle number of clock cycles as 4. So we will multiply these all things and we get the CPI like that. Okay, now we can find the execution time as I have already provided you one formula for the CPI, that I've already provided you the formula for the execution time. This is my execution time, and this is the formula by which we are getting the execution time. So here we are using instruction count. This is my instruction count. Instruction count is 1 billion. 3.7 is my CPI. This is my CPI, and then CD clock timing. So it is 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 9. It will be 1.85 seconds. So the 1 billion of the instruction can be executed in 1.85 seconds using these characteristics of the processor. Now examiner may ask that the 5 cycles are executing in the last example. Now it is 4 clock cycles. So and my frequency is decreased by 1.9. Then what is the performance improvement? So what is the improvement in this case? We will find new CPI, which is 3.5. Then I will divide the last CPI, which was 3.7, and now it is 3.5 multiplied by the clock frequency, which is now 1.9, and before it was 2.2 it was 2 gigahertz, and I will get my value of the improvement. Now how many one address instruction can be? Now a number of instruction, on the base of the number of instruction your question may come. So how many instruction can be formulated if a computer has a 32-bit instruction and 12-bit address. If the there are 250 address instructions. So for that case, what will we do? What will we see that we have 32-bit instructions. So the total my coded is a coded form is 32-bit. I have 12-bit of address. We have 32-bit address, and my operand size is 12-bit. So for the two address it is 12-bit. It is total 24-bit. So remaining 8 of the 8-bit are the opcode. And now we will see that how we are calculating the number of the one address instruction. So because two address instructions are 256, the number of two address instruction available, we have already get this the value as 250. In this value, in this question we have already get it 250. And now we will check 256 minus 250. We will get the 2 address instructions which are free and which can be used indicated as a one address instruction. So in a one address instruction, 6 locations are this, and this is the value. And we have the operand field of 2 to the power 12. So it is this number of the instructions that we can have. This number of the instruction, we have the possibility of this number of instruction as we have. So now let's see what is the two address. Next question, that in this case we have using expanding opcode technique. Means as my number of operands will come to a smaller value, then the opcode number of bits will be higher. For example, in the last code it was 8-bit, and now because the 12-bit address is there, now it is now my opcode is 20-bit. So now next is, let's see, a computer has a 32-bit instruction and a 9-bit address, and if there are 402 address instructions, then how many one address instructions can be formulated? So now you can see that 9-bit operands are there. So now 32-bit instructions is there, are there. So 18, and the remaining bits are 14 bits. So 2 to the power 14, we can find that the value of the instructions are 16384. So now how many instructions are there? So he is telling that 402 address instructions are there. So what we have to do, we have to minus this value. The value which we will get from here. So what is the value which we get from here? It's 15984 multiplied by 2 to the power 9. It is a address field. So what is the address field? It is 9-bit. So we are getting the value which is number of one address instruction is this value. Next is 64-bit instruction, 12-bit address, and a 253 address, 525 2 address. Now let's see, 64-bit address bit instruction, 3 address field will have a 36 total 36 bits. So we will get 28 bits from here. So 2 to the power 28, this number of the possible instructions are possible. So we have already get that from the question that we have 253 address instruction. We don't have this amount of the instruction. We don't have 2 to the power 28 of instructions. We have only 253 address instructions. So what will we have to do? We have to minus this value. So if I will minus this value, the remaining part will be for the 2 address or 1 address or 0 address. So this part I have to minus this value, minus 250 from 2 to the power 28. So I will get the value. So whatever the value I will get, it will be the value of the address space for the either for 2 address, 1 address or 0 address values. So now we will find that how many number of 2 address instructions are possible. So number of unused free opcodes from the instruction and multiplied by 2 to the power address field size. So what will we get? So we will get here, hence 2 to the power 28 minus 250, which we got from here. These are my unused space and these are my unused space. So multiplied by 2 to the power 12, it is my number of instruction for the 2 address code. Now for the 2 address, it is already 525, which is already given in the question. Now I have to minus this 525 to get my remaining instructions. So it is 2 raised power 28. This was the value which I already get from my this value, and now I have to minus the 525 now. So remaining, so these are unused space which is for the one address or zero address instruction. So now he is telling only for the one address, so we will count the number of one instructions which are possible now. So it will be 2 raised power 28 minus 250, which is this value, into 2 raised power 12, which is this value, minus 525 into the address field. Address field is my 2 raised power 12. So it is my these number of instructions are possible now for the given format. Similarly, a computer has 64 instruction, 8-bit address. Now let's see that what happened. Now he is telling that 32 3 address instruction, 248 2 address instruction, and one address. Also he is asking that how many one address instructions are possible. Likewise, we have already done our last example. 2 raised power 40 is my possible value. Okay, so possible number of instructions, I can say 2 raised power 40. So how many 32-bit, he is telling that 32-bit 3-bit instruction, so I have to just minus this number from this number, minus 32. So I will get the value for the 32. This is my unused space. Now this is my this, if I have to multiply this by the 2 raised power 8, and now this is my he is telling that 248 2 address instructions are there. So now I have to minus this number from this number. So now similarly as we have done earlier, so that is my value for the number of possible one address instructions. Okay, so likewise this you can do this example also. I will recommend you that check this, although I have already provided the solution here. Next is pipeline based question. So in this case we have a 4-stage pipeline, for example 800, 500, 400 and 300 picosecond. So likewise this example may come, he may provide you another example also as a so we already know that our pipelines are divided into some stages. So for example, first stage take 800 picosecond, second stage take 500 picosecond, third stage take 400 picosecond, and the fourth stage take 300 picosecond. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to divide this time by the 1 divided by maximum delay. So it is 1. This is my throughput, and throughput is number of instruction per unit of time. So we are taking one instruction only per unit of time, that how much the time is 800 picosecond. So we have just find the what is the percentage increase in the throughput. So you the examiner may ask you about the throughput of the particular pipeline, or he may ask you about the percentage increase in the pipeline. So what he did in this question, he has just changed this pipeline into two-stage pipeline of a 600 and 350 picosecond. In that cases, we always consider the maximum time for the particular pipeline stages. So in this case, the maximum pipeline is 800, and when he replaced the value by 600 and 350, now maximum time delay is 600. So for the first case, throughput is 1 by 800. For second case, it is 1 by 600. Here we can get the percentage increase by T2 minus T1 divided by T1, and it is 33.33%. So that kind of question you may get in your exam. So don't get panic, and you can have a more better results from these things. And if you will practice these questions, that you may get a good result in your exam. So some more questions are there. So our favorite programs runs in 10 seconds on a computer A. So it is also CPI and and clock frequency based questions. So we are trying to help a computer designer. So there is already a machine which is computer A, and another machine B is going to be designed which can execute some program which is executing on a machine at 10 seconds, can be programmed, can take a time in the another machine as a 6 seconds. The designer can use a new, perhaps a more expensive technology to substantially increase the clock rate, but has informed us that the increase will affect the rest of the CPU design, causing machine B to require 1.2 times as a clock cycle as machine A as the same program. So what clock rate will be, we tell the designer to target. Okay, so initially it was 10, now it is a 6, now it is taking 6 seconds, and initially it was 400 megahertz, and now how much of the megahertz it should take, and initially the clock cycles is one. Now the clock cycle, my frequency has increased by 1.2 times. So if my program takes X cycles for computer A and Y cycles for computer B, then it will be X divided by 400 divided by 10 raised power 6 divided by 1.2x divided by Y, then equal to 10 raised power 6. It will be my equation, and this equation, if I will solve this equation, then I will get my frequency. So already all the examples are solved here, so you can go through these examples, and you can contact me also if you have any problem. Okay, so thank you for that lecture.